Top 10 Most Haunted Forests in the World. 10. Isla de las Muñecas, Mexico. The trees of this island near Mexico City are strung with hundreds of dolls, to creepy horror movie-style effect. The island's only inhabitant, Don Julian Santana, discovered the body of a girl in one of its canals more than 50 years ago. He found a doll floating in the same water and, in tribute, hung it on a tree, the first of thousands of dolls he would string up until 2001, when he drowned in the very same canal. Some believe the dolls, many of which are missing limbs, are evil. Others believe they safeguard the island. 9. Hoia Baciu Woods, Romania. Hoia Baciu in Transylvania has captivated attention of the wrong sort for more than half a century. Residents of nearby towns claim that the forest, which has a circular clearing at the center, is a portal, and that those who pass through it may never return. Anyone who does survive reports feeling anxious and nauseous the whole time they are there. Once said to stand straight and tall, the trees are even now twisted into knots. 8. Devil's Tramping Ground, North Carolina. Deep in the woods near Harper's Crossroads, about 10 miles east of Siler City, there's a mysterious 40-foot ring where the devil stomps in circles each night, plotting how to bring about the downfall of mankind. Or so the story goes. In this spot, the forest floor is completely barren and nothing can grow. The North Carolina State Department of Agriculture has supposedly taken samples of the soil and has yet to come up with an explanation for why the patch is devoid of growth. We're curious and try to find explanations for phenomena we can't comprehend, explains Jane Pyle, a member of North Carolina's Chatham County Historical Association. 7. Dow Hill, India. The Victoria Boys' School, established in the late 19th century in West Bengal, is rumored to be haunted. Students report ownerless footsteps echoing in the corridors, but the surrounding Dow Hill forest is an even bigger hotbed of paranormal activity, with woodsmen reporting seeing a headless boy wandering among the trees. Kurseong is considered by many to be India's most haunted hill station, and many visitors have reported the creepy sensation of being watched while exploring the forest around the old school. 6. Frith Wood, England. In the early 19th century, the Greenlaw House, within walking distance of Frith Wood, was converted into barracks for French prisoners captured during the Napoleonic Wars. A woman supposedly fell in love with a prisoner, who was then beaten to death by her father and brother. She died shortly thereafter, possibly by her own hand. Her ghost returns to the site of her lover's murder. Some say she sobs. Others say she runs frantically through the trees. 5. Epping Forest, England. Stretching from East London to Essex, 6,000-acre Epping Forest has been the setting of horrors, both real and, well, debatably so. It served as the hideout for outlaw Dick Turpin and cop killer Harry Roberts, and has also been the hiding place for murder victims, among those the children targeted by Ronald Jepson. An episode of the British Living TV show attempted to find the ghost of Turpin, but the team ended up lost themselves, perhaps a prank of the elusive spirit. 4. Wychwood Forest, England. England's Wychwood Forest, once part of royal hunting grounds in Oxfordshire, abounds in haunted tales of visitors who feel hands reaching out to touch their shoulders or hear the thunder of invisible horses. It's enough to make your spine tingle at the slightest rustle in the leaves. Most compelling is the case of Amy Robsart, the wife of the Earl of Leicester, who mysteriously died of a broken neck. Later, while her husband was hunting in the woods, her ghost confronted him and predicted that he would join her in 10 days, which did after falling suddenly ill. Anyone who meets her, it is said, will befall a similar and swift fate. 3. Black Forest, Germany. The Grimm brothers set many of their fairy tales in this bewitching landscape along the Rhine River in southwestern Germany, which looks just as you'd imagine, so densely forested with fir and pine trees that sunlight rarely pierces through. It makes an ideal playground for mythological creatures like sorcerers, werewolves, witches, and kind-hearted dwarves. The Black Forest, or Schwarzwald as it's called in German, is associated with many spooky legends, but it is also worth visiting to experience the local Bavarian culture and traditions from which many of these famous fairy tales emerged. 2. Aokigahara, Japan. Known as the Sea of Trees, the dense forest at the northwest base of Mount Fuji is one of the eeriest places in the world. It is rumored that large underground iron deposits interfere with compasses, setting walkers forth on the wrong paths. Sadder still, the forest has been the site of more than 500 reported suicides since the 1950s. Locals claim to hear their spirits scream through the night. K1. Old House Woods, Virginia. This 50-acre forest near the Chesapeake Bay is a refuge for the ghosts of 18th-century British soldiers and pirates who once passed through the nearby historic port town of Matthews, and who may have left buried chests of treasure in its soft dirt. At the center of the woods, off Haven Beach Road, was a solitary and dilapidated colonial homestead that burned to the ground. Of all the sightings here, perhaps the most intriguing was reported by a fisherman on White's Creek in the 19th century. A ship silently plying the creek, continuing on over the beach and disappearing into the woods.
If you enjoy this video, please don't forget to subscribe the channel and like the video.